It's the Scarlight Squad back at it again with another deck profile. Hey guys, what's going on? I hope everybody's having a great day. Today I want to profile my Office Tools.dek, otherwise known as Deskbots. I really think this deck was, hurt by the Link era, and that's kind of what we're going to have to live with for pretty much, the rest of Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's still quite a fun deck. If you love underrated stuff, and if you love stuff that can get your opponent really off guard sometimes, I definitely recommend Despots. The pendulum mechanic they use is, I think, still viable. It's still a pretty solid deck overall. But yeah, let's get into the profile. 1-1. You just boost your machines, and when you bring out two or more machines, basically through your pendulum summon, you can bring out through grave over and over. And he's your tuner, so he's pretty much the one you go into all your synchros with. So yeah, just one of him. Moving on to number 2. Whenever 2 special summon, you can search any Deskbot card, including the field spell. So that's awesome. So playing 3 of him with Machine Dupe is broken because all your Despots do have 500. So essentially, you can play Machine Dupe for all 3, or any Despot for that matter. But 3 is probably one of the best Despots overall. When you normal him, you can bring out a Despot from your deck, such as 2. And of course, when you bring out 2, you get the search. And then hit the quick effect, where you can target a Despot, and it gains 500 for every Despot card in the field. And once again, that includes the field spell, so woohoo. 3 Despot 4s. 4 pretty much is just your best battler. Whenever it battles an opponent's monster, you can send 2 Despots from your deck to the graveyard, and you gain some cool stuff advantage, like getting attack and defense based on the levels. And then if it does pop monsters, you can bring out the Despots, and of course get their effects too. As for the pendulums, 3 5s. I mainly play 3 5s because you can make Nova and of course go into Infinity after that. But he's a decent pendulum considering that when you normal special him, you can blow up a spell or trap. So you have some removal there, which is cool. So you don't really need to do like Twin Twisters. And then when he's destroyed, you can target a Despot monster in your grave and special summon it. So woohoo. 2 6s. He's alright, I guess. When you bring him out, you can change a monster's battle position. And then if he's destroyed, you can target a Despot card in your graveyard and add to your hand. So that does get you back the field spell if you need it. 2 7s. 7 does piercing damage, I believe. Yes, piercing. So 7's cool there. Like I said, when you boost up the Despots, all hell breaks loose, and Office Tools just really take over your opponent. And then finally, 2 8s. This can pretty much just attack 2 monsters, which is okay. But yeah, just having them all in the pendulum zones can really help bring out your Despots. And then finally, 1 Despot 9, pretty much kind of the king of all Despots. During your main phase, you can pretty much only make him attack, but he gains attack based on all the other Despots. So if you have 3 on board, and you have just a whole bunch of other Despot cards, this guy can get to over 9,000. I mean, he can, maybe 9,000 depending on what you have, but he's just a great card. And then it locks your opponent out of your opponent's card effects, because if he attacks, your opponent can't activate anything to the end of the damage step. And what I love about him the most is if he were to be destroyed, you can destroy any other Despot card instead. As for the spells, 3 base, and of course that pairs along with 3 terraforming. I don't think you need 3 terraforming in this deck, considering that you just thin it out and you can search this so easily. The only downside is if you have this face up, you can't really do Machine Dupe because it'll prevent that, since it'll boost all your Despots by 500. But what's nice about this is it's similar to Cosmotown. You can shuffle in Despot cards and then redraw the same amount, but it does include Self. So if you have this on board and these 2 in hand, you can put both of these back and then you can redraw. And then of course, yeah, 3 Machine Dupe, because this deck is pretty much impossible to play without Machine Dupe. I don't know how you would play it without it. 1 for 1, just to search out your 1, get some stuff in the grave. 1 reasoning, this card's okay, but it just gets out a free monster, and I highly doubt your opponent will ever call it right. And you just all your Despots to different levels. 1 upstart, because we don't care about giving your opponent's life. You'll just kill him in 1 turn, so free draw and free life, so who cares. 1 and 2 Cosmic Cyclones, just for some more removal. You could probably cut these, but I just like them. 1 Raigeki, just for more removal. And then for my dumb tech card of the deck, I have Infected Male. Kind of an old card, but once per turn, you can target a level 4 or lower monster, so 4, 3, 2, or 1 Despot. Mainly 1 is the best, or 3. But if it it can attack your opponent directly, so you can pretty much just poke for game at that point. And then at the end of the battle phase, you have to send the Deskbot to grave, which is okay because you can just get it back with 4. But yeah, really neat card to play, and it just gets over any pesky monster your opponent doesn't want to see. 2 Pendulum Reborns. This card is very interesting because it lets you bring out your pendulums from your grave or extra deck, so that way you don't really have anything to worry about if they're dead. 1 warning, just because it's warning, for your removal. And then 1 Gravity Bind, kind of another trolley card. It's not the greatest to play because sometimes you do want to attack with your high level Despots, but in those clutch situations, Gravity Bind just comes in handy. As for the extra deck, we of course play the Nova Infinity. Those are the only Xyzes I play, the only ones you really need to play. Of course, for links, you can really play any link, but here's just the 3 I have. So we play 3 Mrs. Radiant's probably the best one because it'll boost your Despots even further, so woohoo. And then for some synchros, these are just the better synchros, I would say. Shambara can attack twice. Natty lots spells, so yay. Metaphys Horse is an interesting synchro because depending on if you use an effect monster or pendulum monster, you get some bonus effects. Pendulum monster is really good. Essentially, you would use 1 and 5 to make this, and if you do that, you can steal an opponent's monster, and that doesn't target. One of the new Samurai Destroyers. He doesn't really do much. He just locks your opponent when he attacks, and then when he's destroyed by a card effect, you can target any machine in your graveyard, and you can bring it back. 1 Clearwing, because it's Clearwing, has some nice features to it. You can just negate some free stuff. 1 Cloud Castle. I think this card's really underrated. When you bring it out, you can bring out a level 9. Am I reading that correctly? Yeah, I just don't bring him out so much. I kind of forget what he does. But yeah, essentially when you bring him out, you can bring out any level 9 or lower monster from grave, so woohoo. And then he can slow down other decks, considering that level 8 or lower monsters cannot attack the tornado or such or something. So Cloud Castle is pretty cool in that respect. 1 Ignister, because it's Ignister. This card is absolutely fantastic in this deck. I would highly recommend playing it just in general. 1 Trish, just more removal. Trish is fun to play, so why not? 1 Jet. Jet's probably, of course, the Despot's main synchro. You can blow up a Despot card and then bring out another one from deck, so you can destroy your base, bring out a 2, and search for another base, so woo. And then you can destroy a Despot and an opponent's card, so that's kind of cool as well. And then, of course, 1 Scarlight, and you can make them in this deck, so yay. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys like the Office Tool.dek. I'm the Raging Snail. I will see you guys later.